Most High Christ. Bear with us 1 second, Israel. Everybody get into class. All right, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Bashem Yahshua B'Katham, Yahweh Shemar Tham Bashem Yahshua, priest and officer of 1,000 Yadayit. It's the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Now, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman, why is Brotherhood important? Why? You have to understand that Brotherhood is important for this reason. Because as Blacks and Latinos and First Nation men and women, we are the same people. You know, it's too many, you know what I mean, of these fake individual-like groups, you know what I mean, that want to include an all-African type vibe, your Christian church and Muslim mosque, wouldn't include everybody. This Bible was only meant for that Black man and woman, Latino man and woman, and First Nation man and woman. It's for that First Nation and Seminole Indian man and woman, that Latino man and woman of El Salvador, Panama, you know what I mean, of Mexico, of Brazil, and Colombia, and Uruguay, you know what I mean, in Central America, and the Black man and woman here in the America, you know what I mean, in the West Indian islands like St. Lucia, Guyana, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Cubans. This is who this is made for. And it's important to realize that we're only supposed to have brotherhood for one another. Now I ask, why is that important? Because here's the thing. A lot of our people claim to love, you know what I mean, the Most High. A lot of our people claim every day to be down with the Most High, that you're down with God, but it's all nonsense because they say it all the time in the Christian church. You could be in that Christian church for 20 years and you will hate that brother and sister that's sitting next to you. Hey, Bob, let me get 1 John 4 and verse 20. Let me show you, man, that, you know what I mean, if you in that Christian church, if you in that Muslim mosque or that fake Israelite group, you know what I mean, there is no real brotherhood in the world. Contrary to your belief, man, brotherhood can be found. It's right here in the I.S.U.P.K. under Command and Gen.YAHANNA. Right. That's real brotherhood. This is where real brotherhood lives. But you know, a lot of our people claim to love the Most High. You claim to be down with the Most High, but you sit in your congregations and you hate on one another. Can't stand each other. Let me show you that in the scriptures, that you're not supposed to do that. See what you got?
This is the book of 1 John, 4 and verse 20.
If y'all also have any questions, type your questions in. I'll be answering your questions tonight. Tonight, my main topic is going to be the regeneration. But let's read on.
Okay. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother.
If a man say he love God, a lot of people say, a lot of brothers out here saying they love God, but deep down, you cannot stand your brother. You hate your brother. Read on.
He is a liar.
He is a what?
A liar.
He is a liar. How the hell can you claim to love the Most High and you hate your brother? You can't do that, Black man, Latino man, and woman. That's one thing I've noticed, especially today, everybody's down with the Lord. Everybody says, I do what God says to do. I mean, God got my back. But you hate your brother. Right. You hate your sister. You are a liar. You know what I mean? Your pastor is a liar because he's the one that taught you that garbage. Your imam is a liar. Your fake Israelite leader is a liar. Read on.
For he that loveth not his brother.
He who loveth not his brother. Meaning if you don't love your brother, read on.
Whom he hath seen.
Now, this is heavy, right? Because you see your brother every day. You do. You see your brother every day. You walk past your brother and your sister all the time, and you cannot stand them. Meaning this, man. The Lord is saying, for he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, because you see your brother. Read on.
How can you love God?
How can you love God? Why? Read on.
Whom ye have not seen.
Whom he have not seen. You ain't never seen the Most High day in your life. And I'm sick and tired of these posts. You know what I mean? These crazy sisters out here saying, well, God talked to me. God told me I got to do this. Sis, stop it. Some of you brothers too, stop it. God is not speaking to you.
Right.
Understand this, of all the people that God could talk to, out of all the Israelites, out of all the brothers, you mean to tell me the Lord decided to personally give you a call? Brother, the Lord spoke to you, your body would disintegrate.
Right.
It would disintegrate. Sis, you could forget about it. Like, this is what you got to understand, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You see your brother, you see your sister every day, and you cannot stand them. But you claiming to love God, and you ain't never seen God. You ain't never met God a day in your life. You're not going to find him in the Christian church. You're not going to find him in the Muslim mosque. Understand that. Now read verse 21, Baba Bashar.
Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him.
This is the commandment that we have from him. What is that commandment that we have from the Most High? Read on.
That he who loveth God.
He that loveth God. Meaning, if you claiming that you love God, this is the commandment to love the Most High. Like it says in Mark the 12th chapter in the 30th and the 31st verse. It says, man, that you got to love the Most High God with all thy mind, all thy strength, and all thy soul. Meaning this commandment that we got from him, that he that loveth God, read on.
Love his brother also.
You're supposed to love your brother also, man. You're supposed to love that fellow black man. You're supposed to love that fellow Latino man, that fellow First Nation man and woman. We have to have this love, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. And what is love, by the way? Since we're here, go to 2 John 1 and 6. As a matter of fact, stay right here. Go to 1 John 5 and 3 since we're right there. Understand this, right? Matter of fact, if I could, right? Start at verse 1.
Okay. This is the book of 1 John, 5 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever believeth that Jesus is the Christ is born of God.
Whosoever believeth that Yahushua is the Christ, the Mashiach, is born of God. Understand this, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. When you see the whosoever, right? Because I know a lot of y'all think, oh, it's the whosoever Yediah. The whosoever is talking about Israelites, man. You know what I mean? The Lord is not dealing with everybody. The Lord is not talking to everybody. You know what I mean? We in 1 John, the 5th chapter. John was not talking to everybody. The whosoever is talking about Israelites. As it says in Acts, the 2nd chapter, in the 20th verse, you know what I mean? In the 21st verse, ye men of whosoever, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Understand this. And whosoever is the men and women of Israel, Israelites.
Right.
So when it says the whosoever believeth that Yahushua is the Mashiach, meaning that Jesus is the Christ, is born of God. And you are born of God. Understand this. When you understand that who our king is, and understand why he was sent down, you understand the mission that you have to do, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. And that's to do what our God said to do in keeping the commandments. So we're going to get to that in a second. Read on.
Of God. When we love God, it's like, and everyone that loveth him that begat, loveth him also that is begotten of him.
Mm-hmm. Read on.
Verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God.
By this we know that we love the children of God. And everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him is also begotten of him. Meaning this, man, if you love, you know what I mean, our king, you know what I mean, if you appreciate what our king did, you got to understand that you got to do the orders that our king gave out, the commandments that our God gave out. By this we know that we love the children of God. And when we love God, what?
Oh God. By this we know that we love the children of God.
This is how you know if you love the children of God. Who are the children of God? The children of God is that black man and woman, that Latino man and woman, that First Nation man and woman. We are the children of God. God is our Father. Like Christ said, our Father which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Meaning he ain't everybody's father. The Most High God, Yahweh, is the father of blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. We are the children of God. We're the ones that the Lord chose. That's why it says in the book of Romans, in Isaac shall thy seed be called. You know what I mean? Who is Isaac? You know what I mean? And understand this. I'm going to go into it a little later, Lord God. Christ was Isaac, man. Christ was here before as Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac, and Solomon.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. Isaac also had children. He had Jacob and Esau. And Esau was not chosen. The Lord hated Esau. Jacob, you know what I mean, was the lot of the inheritance of the Lord, man. Israel, Yasha because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, man. We are the children of God. Israel means Yasha princess of the power, princess of the power of you, a sister. We are the children of God. Read on.
Okay. When we love God and keep his commandments.
When we love God and keep his commandments, man. When you love God and keep his commandments. So that should tell you what love is. That should break down and tell you what love is. Love is keeping the commandments of God, man, and loving the Most High. Because the first commandment is to love the Most High with all thy mind, thy soul, and thy strength. And the second is to love thy neighbor, meaning love thy brother as thyself. We have to keep our God's commandments, man. Read verse 3.
Verse 3.
It'll be plain and simple right here.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we what?
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments, man. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments is real love. A lot of our people don't know what real love is. They have no idea what love is. You don't. But the Lord told us right here, man, that love is keeping the commandments of God. Meaning not eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. Not, you know what I mean, being in that Christian church or Muslim mosque, not being up in that fake Israelite group, not being a Buddhist or following any form of African spirituality, following the East Indians and Shiva, not wearing dreadlocks, because that ain't our custom and our culture, but to keep the commandments of God, man. Read verse 4. Now, keep reading for where you was at. I believe it's a little bit more.
And his commandments are not grievous.
The Lord's commandments ain't grievous, meaning they not. Our people make it a lot more difficult than what it has to be. Like, my question is, like, is it really that hard to stop eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster? Is it really that hard? Is it that hard to put the weed down, to stop smoking cigarettes, to stop being a whore or whoremonger? It's not grievous. It can be done, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You're looking at men in the I.S.U.P.K. that have did it, that are doing it, that have done it. You're looking at sisters, man, that turned their lives around, and now they righteous sisters, man. Got these righteous priests and prophets up in here, man. These strong brothers in this truth, man. You can change your life too because it's not grievous. Now, read verse 4.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is born of God.
But whatsoever is born of God, man. Meaning, if you start to keep the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, come up in here, man, and change your life. Do your 90 days. You know what I mean? If you a brother, put on that all black. Put on that black headband. Put on your boots, man. Lace them up. Gird up your loins like my brother I.S.U.P.K, y'all love to bring out, man. Guess what? You know what you'll do? You know what you'll do, sister, if you come in there and wrap your hair, put on that long dress, and stop being a whore, stop aborting our babies, man. You know what'll happen? For whatsoever is born of God, by coming back into this truth, by coming back into the I.S.U.P.K, guess what? For whatsoever is born of God, what?
Overcometh the world.
Overcometh the what?
The world.
Overcometh the world. Meaning you can overcome America. Because the world means age or society. You can overcome Babylon. You can overcome America, the great whore, man. All you got to do is change your life. It's the hardest thing to do, to walk through these doors. I understand. But I applaud you. You come through these doors, man, you know what I mean, and do your 90 days and just sit in class and learn from these priests and prophets, man. I take my headpiece off to you. I have to. Because that is a difficult thing to do. Even to tune in to class online faithfully, man, proves, you know what I mean, that you are at least trying. But now is the time to try harder. Now is the time to realize. Now is the time to realize. Whole Romans 13 and 11. Now is the time to realize this, that you can overcome this world. America can be overcome. A lot of our people believe that you overcome America by what? Doing what the Panthers did, get a bunch of guns, a bunch of knives, a bunch of weapons, militarizing yourself. Now, the scriptures say that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. That's where the Panthers made the mistake, man. Right. That's where they made the mistake. You know what I mean? It was all cool, man, when you was just gathering blacks and Latinos and that Native American Indian. But then then the Panthers started letting in the oppressor. They let the devil in, I bought. And look what happened. Look what happened to Islam, man, and the Nation of Islam.
Right.
Look what happened, you know what I mean? The Marcus Garvey's movement, man. This is what happens when the Lord is not in it. That's why the Lord sent his prophets back in 1969, man. Listen, black man, I understand. You want to be a militant brother? You want to come in, you know what I mean, and be a servant for your people, man, and stand up for your community, because I understand all y'all claim it. But if you really want to do it, guess what? You got to come into the UPK.
Right.
You can't be a militant at home. Like, like well, like, I want you to like being, you know what I mean, in the crib, being an individual like on Twitter, on Facebook, on Clubhouse. You're not doing the work. You're not. You're masquerading. You're pretending. If you want to do real work, you got to come into the UPK. If all of you on social media that claim, well, y'all ain't the only ones with the truth. I do this on Clubhouse and Twitter. I can't come in and do my 90 days and be a trooper. Let me tell you something. Our troopers are better than y'all. Every last single one of our troopers are better than y'all and can cut y'all on anything in the scriptures. Because y'all claim to know this, that, and the third by watching our classes. I know, but you don't really know nothing. It's wise, man, to come up in this truth and gird up your loins, man, and become a soldier for Christ. And to realize, man, that there is no righteous leadership except for the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General Yohanna, man. You looking for that militant leader, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, Commander General Yohanna right here. Been doing this, you know what I mean, since the 80s when he was a young man, a young brother, a child. And now, look at our general, man, our 13 shield glorious general, man. Understand this. That's the righteous leadership that all black Latinos and First Nation men and women should come and get with. That's why I said, for whosoever is born of God overcometh the world. You can overcome the world, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Read on.
Of God. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the victory that overcometh the world.
This is the victory that overcometh the world. You don't understand the victory. And this is a beautiful scripture for this reason. When you come up in this truth and change your life, the day you decide to stop eating that shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster and being a whoremonger and doing what our God said to do, you overcome the world. Like, that is a real victory, man. The angels rejoice when one sinner repents, man, and comes back up in this body, man. That's real victory. That's what it means to be victorious, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Give me what else I asked for in Romans. I believe it's Romans 13 and 11.
Okay. This is Romans 13 verse 11. And then, knowing the time.
And that, knowing the times. These are the times, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Like, it's rough out here. If you are black, Latino, and First Nation, you need to realize, man, that this is the time. Because you got World War III coming up, and it's coming up fast, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. World War III is right around the corner, and guess what? We told you so. The priests and prophets in the Israelite school of U.P.K, we told you, you know what I mean, that God and Magog was going to come back together. We told you that Russia was going, you know what I mean, to kick things off. And now they invading the Ukraine. Now, this is the time. Read on.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
This is the high time to awake out of sleep. Now is the time to wake up. I hear you. Everybody claiming to be woke, I buy it. Everybody is talking about, well, you know, brother, I'm awoke. I understand what's going on out here. Yeah, all right. I hear you. If you really understood it, you be in here.
Right.
You be in here realizing that it's high time to wake up out of sleep, to realize, man, that you ain't free white in 21. The main issue that really holds a lot of our people back, I buy, you still see yourself being successful in the oppressor's kingdom.
Right.
Let me translate that for you. You believing in your mind that I can still accomplish this in Esau's kingdom, guess what? Guess what? That really is. When we look at it. You still want a little more time to be a slave to your oppressor daddy. That's all that is. It is. I'm not telling you not to go get your degrees. I'm not telling you not, you know what I mean, to take care of your family and do what you got to do. But if you believe that you could be successful in Esau's kingdom, you have already failed.
Right.
You have. We strive to be successful in Christ's kingdom because Christ's kingdom is going to thwart and trump anything that Esau could even dream of. You think America is big and bad? Guess what? Wait till Christ's kingdom comes on this earth. And guess what? When Christ's kingdom comes, it's going to be on earth. That's another thing too. Like, understand this. I'm gonna go over this in like the next time I teach on heaven and hell. I'm gonna touch on it quickly. You know what I mean? Briefly. Heaven and hell are conditions that we live in. The fact that you think that you could still be successful in the oppressor's kingdom and think you can live as a comfortable slave, but that's really all that is. It's disgraceful for this reason. Because you're putting the oppressor in his way first, instead of our God, instead of our King, instead of this brotherhood, man, and your brothers and your sisters that need you right now. But you want to masquerade online as an individual, like claim you know the law, statutes, and commandments, but you just can't let go of that former self. You cannot let go of that old man. You can't. You just have to see how, you know what I mean, how you can just do this in Esau's kingdom. Nah. Can't do that, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. The time is short. We are in hell. And hell is a condition. Hell ain't no little fiery underground purgatory that you go to when you die. Hell is North Philly. Hell is Southwest Philly, South and West Philly. That's hell. While heaven is these high-rise buildings and gated communities that the oppressor lives in. And here's the thing, man. It's been like this for a while. Why? Because the earth. Let me get that too, Bob. Let me get Job 9 and 24. Let me explain that for a quick second, right? Why the oppressor is in charge. Why, you know what I mean, this was able to happen to our people. And even that mindset. Because what we have to realize, you're fighting a losing battle trying to join hand in hand with the oppressor and think you can change him. This beast is not going to change for nobody. He's not. This oppressor is an evil, wicked monster and the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Like, that ain't never, it's like, I like to use this analogy for a reason, right? The oppressor can be the wolf and the fox.
Right.
You got a lot of oppressors that are going to charge you like the wolf and you know what he's going to do. But the most dangerous ones that come across friendly at first and then at night they're eating you.
Right.
And you thought they were your buddy. They coming across smiling like they gonna have your best interest at heart and mind, and they never do. Right. And us believing on them, us wanting to follow after them and have brotherhood with them, this is why this happened. Read what you got,
This is book of Job, 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. Who is the wicked on the earth? Who's the one that told us that homosexuality is an alternative way of living? Who's the one that told us, you know what I mean, it's all right, you know what I mean, to eat pork when God said that pork was an abomination, while the oppressor said it's the other white meat? The earth was given unto the hand of the wicked. The oppressor is the wicked on the earth. He is. Like, a lot of you like to say, oh, no, you know, Esau is the Arab. The Arab man and woman is Esau. Stop. That's why you got to put that weed down, man. The scriptures say when Esau he was born, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hairy all over. Hairy all over and red. That is a put on Cain. Why is that? Why is it that Esau is cursed? Because he's the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Right. Like, the Lord did that so we can identify and know who he is. He's the wicked on the earth. Right. He's the wicked. Read on.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. How did he cover the faces of the judges thereof? I'll tell you. I'll say exactly how he did it. They tell us that Jesus Christ is some white boy with blonde hair and blue eyes. That devil that you see in those images, his name is Caesar Borgia, son of Alexander Rodrigo Borgia. You know what I mean? Pope of Rome. Caesar Borgia was a homosexual and a pedophile, raped his own sister. a murderer. Understand this, man. They cover up the faces. And when he died, right, when Caesar Borgia died, he had, you know what I mean, Pope, you know what I mean, Pope Alexander had, you know what I mean, Michelangelo. And I'm not talking about that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle neither. You know what I mean? Commissioned him to paint the image of the greatest man that ever walked this earth, a black man that the world ignorantly knows is Jesus Christ, Yahweh Mashiach, into Caesar Borgia. He covered up the faces of the judges thereof. During the time of the icons and the Russian icons, man, during that Renaissance period, they started to paint over the black Moses, man, because Moses was a black man, man. Moses was a so-called Haitian, because the Haitians are the tribe of Levi. Joshua would be a Puerto Rican today, man, of the tribe of Ephraim. You know what I mean? Peter, Paul, John, you know, painted over their images, man, from black to whitewashed them. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. They don't want us to know that Christ was a black man, that the disciples were black men, you know what I mean, black and Latino. They don't want us to know that our God, Yahweh, is a black man in spirit, and that's in the Bible. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Read on.
If not, where and who is he?
If not where, then who and who is it? Who is the wicked on the earth if it ain't the oppressor? I'll wait. Like, can somebody tell me that? Who is the wicked on this earth if it's not the oppressor? Please tell me. Don't get me wrong. The Africans are wicked. The Asians are wicked. The Arabs are wicked. The Polynesians, the Tongans, Samoans, the Filipinos, they are wicked. But none of them are wicked like the oppressor. The oppressor is the real wicked on the earth, man. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. If not, and who is he? Then who is it? I'll tell you who it is. It's the oppressor. Caucasian man and woman, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, this is what we got to realize. This is why separation is key. Separation is key for this reason, right? If I could, let me get Leviticus 20 and verse 26. Because we don't realize, as the Lord's chosen people, that God wants us to separate from these heathens. Like, if I just, before I get in my topic, go ahead.
Question.
Go ahead.
Related to what you just said. From brother in class, Salaki, sir. Wasn't it Leonardo da Vinci that painted the Caesar as Christ?
It's one of them that was, I believe it was Michelangelo. Might have been Da Vinci. Was one of them devils during the Renaissance period. I have to double check, with you on that. But I'm almost positive that it was Michelangelo. One of those devils, they call them the fathers of the Renaissance, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Leonardo. Yeah, one of them devils. Let me just say this. Don't really matter because all of them are homosexual anyway. All of those devils did that together. They did that. And that's what's so heavy. I'm glad I'm glad you said that for this reason. Because all of them had a hand in that. It wasn't just one painter that did this. Like, I'm not sure we have the icons back there, the Russian icons, but the thing is, it was heavy, right? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. This is something that the oppressor did as a collective. They did this as a collective. They did that. Where they decided to paint over our images, man, of our people, man. To look, and then you got to realize this, right? For you Christians out there, I want you to understand something. You always say color is not in the Bible. Why should it matter? It mattered to the oppressor. It mattered to him. Why did it matter? I'll tell you why it mattered. Because the last thing they wanted us to know, that Christ was a black man. How can you oppress us, the Lord's chosen people, with a king that looks like us? How can you do it? Like, imagine going up in church, right, and you saw black Christ. You saw Peter and Paul and John, Nathaniel, Bartholomew, and Stephen depicted as black and Puerto Ricans. Man, look at that Joshua, who was a Puerto Rican brother. You'd be like, oh, man, they look like me. The oppressor did that because they don't want us to know who we are. They don't. And it's really our fault because we disobeyed our God. As a matter of fact, Before you get to Leviticus, right? Go to Jeremiah 17 and verse 4.
Okay.
Go to Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. Let me show you that in the scriptures, man. Why we were cut off, what we did.
This is the book of Jeremiah, so 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage.
Now, it says, even thyself. It said, here's the thing, right? And which is so heavy about it. Now, this is the thing, what you got to realize. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. It says, thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance. Young man in class, young man DeVille, Da Vinci was supposed one of his lovers. Da Vinci was one of Caesar Borgia's lovers. But don't get it twisted. He had many lovers. He had many other men as his lovers, not just Da Vinci. And he also raped his sister. He was an evil, wicked bastard, man. And because, you know what I mean, we disobeyed our God, it says, and thou, even thyself, shall what?
Discontinue from thy heritage.
We've been discontinued from our inheritance, right? Meaning this. We don't even know our identity. We don't know that we're the Jews of antiquity. We don't know that we're the real ethnic Jews and Israelites. You walking around thinking that you're so-called African American. How in the hell can you be a descendant of Leo Scipios Africanus and Americos Vespucci? Those are two oppressors.
Right.
You mean to tell me we come from two white men, black man and woman, Latino man and woman? And I'm sick of y'all saying, but not all Latino, you dire. What about they could be conquistadors, they could be Spaniards, the Mexican man and woman. You know what I mean? That's what they are, the tribe of Isupk, man.
Right.
They are the tribe of Issachar. A Puerto Rican man and woman and Cuban man and woman are of the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. From Argentina to Chile, they are of the tribe, you know what I mean, of Naphtali. From Colombia to Uruguay, they are of the tribe of Asher. Right. You know what I mean? Central America, El Salvador, Panama, and Honduras, the tribe of Zabalawan. Am I forgetting? Oh, the North American Indian, the First Nation man, is the tribe of Gad, and the Seminole Indian are the tribe of Reuben. Right. And here's the problem, right? How dangerous that is. Don't get me wrong, you do have some conquistadors out there, but you can normally tell who they are. You can tell that they're oppressors. The conquistadors are the oppressors that were from Spain. And you know what the Spanish did? Because our people, and this is another thing, it goes right into it. Our brothers and sisters speak Spanish for the same reason we speak English, because we were colonized. We were put into slavery. Right. You are not Spanish. The Spanish, you know what I mean, are another son of Esau, the conquistador, the Spaniards. They enslaved the North American Indian and the Seminole Indian and the Mexican man and woman. They went on cargo slave ships and they brought them over there to Spain. They oppressed them in Mexico, in Cuba, and Puerto Rico. When Cortez and the conquistador and them boys came over to the Isle of Puerto Rico, which is called Rich Port. That's what Puerto Rico means, man. That's your nationality, Puerto Rican man and woman? Cuban man and woman? Rich Port? No. You are the tribe of Ephraim and Manasseh. But because we've been discontinued from our heritage, we don't know who the hell we are. It's the same reason why, black man, why you think you're African. You think every Hamite over there in Nigeria and Ghana, you know what I mean, in Liberia are Israelites, and they are not. I'm not saying it's not brothers over there that are Israelites, because there are some Israelites in Africa. For the same reason there are some Israelites in China, there are some Israelites freezing their ass off in Antarctica somewhere, in Alaska. Understand this. Not all of them are Israel. We will have few in number amongst the heathen. The majority of us are right here in America, right. Mexico, South America, the West Indian Islands, Puerto Rico, and Cuba. We've been scattered all over the earth because we disobeyed our God, I because we didn't want to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. That we have been what? Read it again from the top.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage. That I gave thee.
That I gave thee. Meaning the Lord gave this to us. The Lord gave it to us, man. The Lord gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments. He gave us, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everything that we know. We didn't get it from some oppressor. Didn't get it from no African, no Asian. That's why you look silly. Like General Mayak was bringing out yesterday, a lot of you like to make excuses to be like, oh, dreadlocks. I can wear dreadlocks, Shadiah. I can dread my hair. You know what lock means? Like what we brought out yesterday, man, what General Mayak brought out so eloquently. You know what I mean? When you look up locks, right, in the Zondervan Pictorial or Compact Bible Dictionary, it's talking about braids, braided hair. That's what that's talking about, man. Locks, you know what I mean? Them dreadlocks. That's an East Indian custom from shipping.
Right.
What you don't realize, man, you're giving homage, you're worshiping another god, the god of the East Indians, man.
Right.
That's where them dreadlocks come from. Reading on.
O God, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
And the Lord said, I will cause thee to serve thy enemies. You know why we're in America serving our enemies? Because we disobeyed what our God said to do. Because we didn't want to have brotherhood with one another. We decided to go up and join the oppressor and these other heathens. The Lord said, no sweat, as a righteous father that he is, and punished us. He said, now you're going to serve your enemies. Read on.
And the land which thou knowest not.
We don't know America. We don't know this land. It's not where we from. Even you, First Nation man and woman, Seminole Indian man and woman, Mexican man and woman, America, you listen, this is not where we're from. We are millions of miles away from where we are from, and that's Israel. Yasha Allah. The oppressor is in our land right now, masquerading as a Jew, and he's not. When that land belongs, the land of Israel belongs to the North American Indian, the First Nation man and woman, Seminole Indian man and woman, Latino man and woman, and Black man and woman. Because we're the Jews, we're the Israelites. Now we're in a land that we know not. We don't know this land. It's not where we're from. We were enslaved here in America, man. The physical chains may be off, but the mental chains are stronger than ever. Read on.
Where ye have kindled a fire in mine anger.
You kindled a fire in the Lord's anger, man. Why? Because we wanted to join these heathens. We wanted to believe in all of their philosophies. And guess what, Black man, Latino man, and woman? That's why it's time to come out of America and be separate. Now, go to Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 26, Bubba Kashaw.
Okay. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 26.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
The Lord said, ye shall be holy unto me. What does it mean when the Lord says, ye shall be holy unto me? I'll tell you. Holy means separate, right? It means set apart. It's not your grandma with that feathered hat on in church. Ain't your auntie neither. It's not your pastor with the white robe and gown on. Holy means to be separate, set apart. Meaning Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Meaning ye should be separate unto me. Set apart. Read on.
O God. For I, the Lord, am holy.
For I, the Lord, am holy. The Lord is holy, man. The Lord is separate, set apart. Meaning he ain't the God of everybody. He's only the God of Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. Read on.
O God. And have severed you from other people.
And have severed you from other people. The Lord severed us from these heathens, man. The Lord severed us from the oppressor, from the Africans, from the Asians, man, for excellent reason. Because we are God's chosen people, and he wants us to be separate from these other nations. Read on.
That ye should be mine.
That ye should be mine. That's why it's time to come out of that Muslim mosque. That's why it's time to come out of that Christian church, Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Now, if I could, to dive into my topic, right? Said I was going to go over this, and I am. I want to talk about the regeneration and what happens when you die, right? Because too many of our people believe when you die, you're going to some little purgatory underground. You know what I mean? Or you're going up in the sky to be with the Most High and be an angel. First off, let's understand this real quick. When you die, you know what I mean? You don't go up into the sky, you know what I mean, and grow wings and just fly around with your Yahweh and the Most High. That's not going to happen. Or if you were evil, that you come back and you go down to the underground and there you are with some little white man in pink and red or pink pantyhose poking you in hellfire for all eternity. No, that is not what happens. First, I want to address something else. Get me, the precept where celestial bodies and terrestrial bodies. I believe it's in Corinthians. Now, let me dispel one thing for you real quick. When you die, you're not becoming an angel. You know what I mean? Like a physical angel of the Lord. First and foremost, if you saw a physical angel of the Lord, you would probably have a heart attack. Because the thing is, when you think of angels now, you think of those little fat oppressor babies. Angels are horrifying to look at. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. Now understand this. When you die, right, you're not meant to be up in the fourth dimension. What you call heaven, we call the fourth dimension. Go ahead. The celestial bodies. Yeah, and terrestrial. I believe it's in Corinthians, either first or second. Because here's the thing: when you die, right, you're not gonna get a celestial body. You're not gonna become an angel. You know what I mean? The angels, the actual angels, have their purpose, and we have our purpose. Black man, Latino man, and woman. I'm gonna break that down for you first. Let me know when you got it.
I got it, sir.
Come on, go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 40.
Mm-hmm.
There are also celestial bodies.
There are celestial bodies. What is a celestial body? A celestial body. You want to take a crap at it?
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's a body made to be for the heavens.
Right. It's a body made for the heavens. A body made for what we call the fourth dimension, to where the Most High dwells. That's a celestial body. Read on.
Okay. And bodies terrestrial.
And bodies terrestrial. Meaning, what are terrestrial bodies? Terrestrial, go ahead, I know.
Bodies of the earth.
Bodies for the earth. Meaning bodies for the earth. Bodies for this terrain right here. Right. Your body was not meant for the fourth dimension. Black man, Latino man, right. First Nation man and woman. It wasn't made for that. Because here's the thing, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. What you need to realize, because they teach this in the Christian church, when you die, and this is really slave talk I buy. Talking about when you die, you go into that great old big by and by in the sky. Right. That's what they used to tell us on Sunday on our only day off. Like that ish is sad, I buy. Right. And it's still being pushed to this day. Right. Meaning this, we have terrestrial bodies, bodies made for the earth. The angels have celestial bodies, meaning bodies made for the heavens, the fourth dimension. Read on.
Oh God, the glory of the celestial is one.
The glory of the celestial is one. The glory that the angels have being celestial bodies is one glory. Read on.
And the glory of terrestrial is another.
Is another. Now I'll give you another myth that they like to say. They love to say that, you know what I mean, in the scripture where it says the sons of God saw the daughters of men and they were fair. And I've heard it all like that. Well, the angels came down and had sex with women. And that's where you got Nephilim, big giants. That is garbage. Right. Angels don't have sex. They don't. They don't. Right. They do not. Like, that is a lie that has been told for far too long. They don't have sex. They don't do that. Angels have their purpose. They don't do that. Now, that's their glory. You know what I mean? The glory that the celestial bodies have, man. Now, what the angels are, you know what I mean, with the four wings and all the eyes, being dreadful to look upon, man. Hey, read on that, Bob.
Oh, God. And the glory of the terrestrial is another.
And the glory of the terrestrial is another. Man, we got our glory in our bodies, man. We have our glories. The Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. Right. You know what I mean? To go out there and replenish the earth. Meaning sex is marriage, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. Understand this. The celestial bodies have their glory. We have ours. When you die, you are not going to get a celestial body and become an angel. No. When you die, you come back. You're coming back to the earth. And now I'm going to show it to you. You know what I want? Let me get Psalms 104 and verse 30. Okay. Matter of fact, start at verse 29.
Okay. This is the book of Psalms, the 104 and verse 29. God, hide us thy face.
Thy hide is thy face. What does it mean when it says thy hide is thy face? Meaning this. If the Lord turns his face from you, you in trouble. If the Lord, if the Most High Yahweh turns his face from you, boy, it's a rough one. Read on.
They are trouble.
I just said it. They are trouble. Meaning you in trouble if the Lord turns his face from you, man. Read on.
Thou takest away their breath.
What does it mean when it says they take away their breath? Meaning now your breath is being taken away. Now you're died. Now you're dead. Means you're going to die. Because what is breath? Breath, you know what I mean? The breath is life. Read on.
They die.
They die. Meaning, thy hide is thy face. They are trouble. Meaning you going through it right now. It's a rough one. You know what I mean? Thou takest away their breath. They die. Meaning the Lord takes you, man. You give up the spirit. Give up the ghost. Now, read on.
And return to their dust.
And now you return to the dust. Now your body starts to decay. Your body starts to break down and it turns to dust going into the ground. Another thing too, right, which I've always heard, right, and I remember Officer Danyala breaking this down to me when I was a young man in class and a trooper, that they be like, well, you know, Yediah, how come, you know what I mean, we haven't found the bones of the prophets. We haven't found no Peter, no Paul, we ain't found Christ. The burial process for Israelites is very simple. We wrap you in, you know what I mean, linen. Wrap you in linen, put you in the ground, bury you, and that's it. You know what happens when you get put in the ground, right? Without the embalmings and everything, the embalming that they do to preserve your body. You wrap somebody in that linen, right, and put them in the dirt as it is. Your body starts to decompose with the rest of the minerals in the ground. Right. And your body starts to decay to where there's nothing left, including the bones. Right. Meaning the bones get broken down too and become nutrients that go back into the earth, man. Right. Go straight to dust. That's why you're not going to find bones or a body, because it wasn't meant to be. Why y'all so enamored with that anyway? You know what I mean? It confounds me. What does it matter? You're dead. Right. Here's the thing. I mean, like I'm done. I'm out. Right. Here's the thing, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Here's the glorious part. You come back. You come back. You'll be back. Read on, Ibad. Read verse 30.
Verse 30. Thou sendest forth thy spirit.
Thou sendest forth thy spirit. Now, when you die, your spirit is sent forth. Your spirit gets sent before the Most High in the fourth dimension. Read on.
They are created.
They are created. What does it mean they are created? Now realize this. When you die, first of all, you need to understand this, what you do. While you are living, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman, just know that you have angels watching everything that you do. Everything that you do, recording all of your records, right? You go forth before the Most High. And Christ is on the right-hand side. Satan is on the other. And Satan is like, ooh, you did this, you did that. You bought weed over there. You was an evil, wicked bastard since you aborted that baby. Going down the list. They are created. Now, here's the thing about it, man, why it's important to come back into this truth and live a righteous lifestyle. Right. If our king interrupts and say, hold up, yeah, he did all that, but here's the thing. He turned his life around. He came into the truth. You know what I mean? He understood, you know what I mean, the assignment that I died, you know what I mean? So he could change his life, and he did, and she did. And she never smoked weed again. She never aborted her child again. That brother never murdered another brother, didn't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, didn't sleep with no heathen. I mean, wasn't a whoremonger, says she wasn't a whore. Now, they are created. And read on.
And thou renewest the face of the earth.
And thou renewest the face of the earth. Pending, right, the judgment of the lifestyle that you live, you are sent back. And if you lived an evil, wicked lifestyle, you're going to come back in a worse condition that you were already in. You're going to come back in hell. Hell meaning a low condition, the lowest condition. Now, if you lived a righteous lifestyle, you came back into this truth, man, and turned your life back around, guess what? You're going to come back in an excellent condition, a good condition. Man, you be reborn in this truth. You imagine that? You know what I mean? The Lord take you, man, I mean, you come up in this truth and do what the Lord said to do, and then you come back in the truth, to be born in the truth. Oh man, that's a glorious thing. That's what happens. This is what they like to call reincarnation, regeneration. Since thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth, because we've been here before. We've been here before, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. And that's something, right, that the Sadducees and Pharisees never understood. They never understood. And as a matter of fact, right, let's go to Ecclesiastes, right? Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes. Start at verse 1 and 1. Okay. Let's go there. Again, if y'all got any questions, make sure y'all type them in. I'll be answering y'all questions tonight. But let me get Ecclesiastes 1 and 1. Let me prove it even further. Let me show you, you know what I mean, that we've really been here before.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The words of the preacher, the son of David.
The words of the preacher, the son of David. Who is the preacher? The son of David. That's Solomon. That's who that's talking about. And guess what? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Christ was Solomon. Christ was here before. We'll go into that as well. Christ was here as Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac, and Solomon. That ain't something you're going to learn in the Christian church. But you're going to learn it tonight. Because we, the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commander GEN.YAHANNA, we've been bringing this truth out since 1969. The scripture said to prove all things. I'm about to prove it. Now, keep reading.
King in Jerusalem.
He was king in Jerusalem at the time. And there was no king like Solomon, man. They love to talk about Mansa Musa and all these different Hamites. Guess what? They ain't have nothing on Solomon. When Solomon was ruling over Israel, man, the servants was so fly that when that Hamitic queen of Sheba, when that Hamite came, that Ethiopian, she ain't know who the hell the king was because all the brothers was fly. Right. But there was no king like Solomon, man. And what made Solomon, you know what I mean, so great is that he asked the Lord for wisdom to be wise in judging our people, man. And the Lord bless Solomon, man. Read on.
Verse 2. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher.
Vanity of vanities, man. Captain Paul was just breaking this down, man. Vanities of vanities, meaning vain of vain. What is vain? Meaning it's nothing. The problem is you put your trust in that Christian church and that Muslim mosque, and it's nothing. It's garbage. You put your trust in the oppressor's society, man. It's nothing. It's vanity of vanities. Read on.
Vanity of vanities. All is vanity.
All of that is vanity. All of that is vain. It's nothing. Read on.
Verse 3. What profit hath a man of all his labor?
What profit a man of all his labor, of all that he does? Read on.
Which he taketh under the sun.
Which he taketh under the sun. All the laboring you doing under the sun. All that work you doing under the sun. What does it matter? Read on.
Verse 4. One generation passes away, and another generation cometh.
One generation passeth away. What does that mean where it says one generation passes away? Meaning one generation of people leaves, but then another generation comes. It's a cycle that Solomon is breaking down right here in the book of Ecclesiastes, man. When one generation of people go away, another comes back. We all come back. Read on.
But the earth abideth forever.
The earth abideth forever. Meaning the earth ain't going nowhere, man. There ain't really no new thing under the sun, and we're going to get that too a little further down. The earth has been here a long time, man. A long time. And it's going to be here. Read on.
Verse 5. The sun also riseth, and the sun goeth down.
The sun rises, and it goes down. Read on.
And hasteth to his place.
It hasted to his place. Read on.
Where he arose.
To where he arose. Meaning, and this is how you know what I mean, that the God of Israel, Yahweh, is our God and one God. And people love to say, well, you know, there ain't no God. This could be explained scientifically, Yediah. Nigga, shut up. Who created the sun? Who created this system that we have where the sun goes up and then sets and it does it again? Who set that up? Who created that? You mean to tell me that this all happened because of two atoms coming together? Give me a break, man. The oppressor is an evil, wicked bastard, man. Only the God of Israel, the God of niggas, could do something like this, man. So glorious and magnificent. Read it.
Verse 6. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north.
The wind goes to the south and then turns to the north. Who controls that? Who controls the wind going from the north and then turning around and going south? Who controls that? Oh, science can explain that too, I buy. Well, they don't. Here's the crazy thing, right? I buy, but they don't realize the Lord is the one that created science,
Right.
and it's in Ezra, where Ezra was just bugging the angels of the Lord, man. Like, how come this? How come that? And the angel said, if you can answer one of my questions, I'll tell you a little bit more. Who can measure the weight of fire or of air? Tell me why the wind goes from the north to the south. Some things you can't explain because it ain't meant for us to understand. But our God knows. Because our God knows more than man. Read them.
That God. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits.
And listen, and it returns again according to his circuits. Meaning this, the patterns that the winds take, the Lord created that and controls that.
Right.
Even when you look at natural disasters, I was looking at tornadoes the other day, I said, damn, that is a horrifying thing, man. And it shows how dreadful our God can be, how powerful our God can be. That it could just pop up out of nowhere and destroy everything, and then boom, it's gone. You can play with the God of Israel if you want to. Ask the Egyptians. Ask the Babylonians. Read on. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full.
All the rivers run into the sea, but the sea doesn't overflow. It doesn't get flooded. Come on, man. Read on.
Unto the place from whence the rivers come.
Mm-hmm.
Thither they return again.
All the places from which the rivers come, they return again. You ever notice on how you have with the 7 seas, right? On how they all get up to that connecting point and they never overlap with each other. They don't cross over into one another. I believe it's a video out there that shows it, man. Like on this side of the water is light blue and that side of the, and they don't mesh. Goes right to that cutoff in that border, man, with that firmament. How do you know that's possible? The God of Israel, man, did that. Put everything in its rightful place in order. Read on.
Oh God.
Another thing too, right? Even when you go to the shore, the water goes to a certain point, and it doesn't go over that point unless our God lets it.
Right.
And you got to understand this, man. Our Lord, our God understands. Our God said this, and He knows. We don't even know how many hairs we have on our head, but God does. Our God does. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. Like that water gets to a point of that shore, and it does not change unless the Lord allows for that high tide to come and goes past that certain point and flood. Right. Read on.
Okay. Verse 8. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it.
Man, all these things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. Meaning you have no idea. Read on.
The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing.
Now, the eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Meaning this. You saw, like, your eyes will never be satisfied, with seeing, nor the ear, filled with hearing. And that's heavy too, right? Because you see these things. You hear these things. And you still can't comprehend it. You still have no clue what the hell is going on. Because you want to be simple and dumb. Understand this, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman, and ask 1,000 questions. And ask 1,000 questions, knowing damn well you just want to hear yourself talk. These things, man, the Lord created and have done. And we got to realize, man, it's for a purpose. Read on.
Verse 9. The thing that hath been It is that which shall be.
The thing that is, right? The thing that had been is that which shall be. What is the thing that is? What is that? What is that thing? What is it? I'm asking online too. Like, what is that thing that had been? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. See how many of y'all know the Bible. Now, what is that thing? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. This is what we need to realize as the Lord's chosen people, right? This is what we got to realize. That thing that had been is that which shall be. Go to Ecclesiastes 6 and 10. What is that thing, man? That thing that has been. That thing that already was named already. What is that? That which shall be. Go ahead.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 6 and verse 10. That which hath been is named already.
That thing that has been named already. Meaning that thing that has been, that is that shall be, that thing that has been named already. Read on.
Oh God. And it is known that it is man.
That it is what?
That it is man.
That it is man. That it's man, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. That thing that has been and that which shall be is man. That thing that already, and this is what you got to realize, right? As the Lord's chosen people. Meaning, we've been here before. We've been here before. Now go back to verse 9.
Okay. This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. Okay. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be.
Mm-hmm.
And that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
There ain't no new thing under the sun. Let me explain, right? If you was a black man of the tribe of Judah, right, or of the tribe of Benjamin, that's what you're going to come back as. So if I die tomorrow or today, just drop dead, I'm going to come back as a brother from the tribe of Judah. I will come back as a brother from the tribe of Benjamin. If you're and here's the thing, and if you are a man of the tribe of Benjamin, you're not going to become a woman of the tribe of Benjamin. You'll always be a man.
Right.
Sis, you're not going to become a man.
Right.
And it's a shame, my God, that I had in 2022, a priest and prophet of God in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, because this is where the priests and prophets of God is, and have always been, and nowhere else. Let me explain something to y'all. If you was born a man, you are a goddamn man.
Right.
If you were born a woman, you are a goddamn woman.
Right.
Like the fact that I have to explain this in 2022, Ibad, is insane. Because there is a lot of confusion here on, not to go off topic, right? There is a lot of confusion here in America that they push. They make it seem like you can become a woman if you're a man. And if you're a woman, you can become a man. No, the hell you cannot.
Right.
And I would cross-examine it. I can't wake up one day and be like, I'm an old Chinese woman. I'm an old Arab woman. I identify as an old 60-year-old Polynesian woman that sell coconuts on the Isle of Samoa. I can't do that. Y'all gonna be looking at me like Yediah has lost his goddamn mind. Like, if I go out there to camp this Saturday, right, and I come out there in a chicken suit and start clucking like a chicken and bucking and everything, y'all gonna be like, man, Yediah is tripping. That don't make me no goddamn chicken. That's the problem with America, man. That's why we got to come out of America in this evil, wicked society, because they tell us that you can be a woman if you're a man. And no, the hell you cannot, man. Look at Dwayne Wade and his family, man. It is an abomination unto God for what he's doing with that child, his son. And I say his son because he is a boy. He ain't no goddamn girl. Telling him it's all right to dress up like a woman. No. That's why the scriptures say a man should not wear what pertaining to a woman, and a woman should not wear what pertaining to a man. There are pants that are for men. There are pants for you fake Israelites out there. Women can wear pants. They can wear women's pants. There are pants that are tailored to women. And there are pants that are tailored to men. There are items, man, that men have to wear that are tailored for us, and there are items that women have to wear that are tailored for them. But the fact that I got to explain this in 2022, when you come back, black man, you are going to be a black man. If you are a man of the tribe of Ephraim, you're going to come back as a Puerto Rican man. You're going to come back as Ephraim. If you are a sister of the tribe of Issachar, you're going to come back as a sister from the tribe of Issachar. Am I clear? Am I being perfectly clear, I did I have to explain it a little bit more? I mean, if you was born of the tribe of Reuben, means you're a Seminole. If you are a Seminole woman, you are going to come back as a sister from the tribe of Reuben, because Seminoles are the tribe of Reuben. If you are a brother, a man of the tribe of Reuben, you're going to come back as a man of the tribe of Reuben. If you are a man of the tribe of Gad, you're going to come back as Gad. You're going to come back as the tribe that you were and the gender that you were. And let me say this, there are only two genders. There's two genders, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. There's man and there's woman. Talking about it's 40 genders. No, it's man and woman and 38 types of gay.
Right.
Read them.
God. Verse 10. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new?
Is there anything on this earth that can say, oh, this is new? There ain't nothing new. There is nothing new. Like, are you aware that they had electricity in Egypt? In ancient Egypt, there was electricity. Like black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman, ain't nothing new under the sun, and we're going to get to that. There ain't nothing on this earth that is new. We had that good wine back then. As a matter of fact, the wine tastes better back then from what I heard, what they say. You know what I mean? Like, the strong was a little better back then. Read it.
It had been already of old time, which was before us.
It have already been of old time, which is before us. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, if we die and come back, how come I don't remember my past life? Why does things look familiar? Let me tell you something. This notion of deja vu, that nonsense is all up in your head. Right. It's all in your mind. Stop getting high. Right. This is why you do not remember who you were in your past life. Read verse 11.
Verse 11. There is no remembrance of former things.
There's no what?
There is no remembrance of former things.
There is no remembrance of former things. Meaning you're not going to remember who you were. You don't know who the hell you were, man. Doesn't matter who I was in my past life. And it's for great reason. It doesn't matter. There's no remembrance of former things. I think Israelites saying, well, I was Paul in my past life. Nigga, stop getting high. God said there's no remembrance of former things. Meaning when you die, you come back as a new man, a new woman. There's no remembrance of former things. Read on.
Neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after.
And you're not going to remember those things that are going to come or that come after. Like, so when you die, you're not going to remember your past life. You're not going to remember what you did or what happened. No. And it's not meant for you to. That's what makes our God so righteous. I can't say, oh, I was David in my past life. I should be in charge. Or be like, oh, I was Saul. I was king of Israel. I was David. I was king of Israel. I should be like this. Or they'd be like, oh, you was Saul. You the one that messed up. Oh, you was David. You slept with Bathsheba. Nah. There ain't no remembrance of former things. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. There are no remembrance of former things or of any remembrance of things that come or that come after. So when you die, black man, you're coming back as another black man. You know what I mean? You may look different. You're going to look different. You know what I mean? You're not going to, you know what I mean? That's what you need to realize, right? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Now, we've been here before.
Right.
Like I said, you may look different, but you're going to come back. If you were of the tribe of Judah, you're going to come back as the tribe of Judah if you're a brother. If you were a sister of the tribe of Judah, you're going to come back as another sister from the tribe of Judah. If you was Ephraim, you're going to come back and be a man of Ephraim, or if you were a woman of Ephraim. Understand that, black man, Latino man, First Nation man, and woman. Now, if I could, let me get Matthew 22, right? And start at verse 23. This is what the Sadducees and Pharisees didn't understand. They came to Christ addressing this. And goes to show you that your pastors and your religious leaders, they have no clue because they don't read the Bible and they don't understand it. Now, read Matthew chapter 22 and verse 23.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 22 and verse 23. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him.
Now, the Sadducees didn't believe in resurrection. They didn't believe in it. Your pastor don't believe in that neither. They don't believe in it. They believe when you die, you go into that great old by and by in the sky and become a celestial body. When we prove, you know what I mean, that there are celestial bodies and there are terrestrial bodies. You're not going to die and become an angel, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. And you're not going to die and go down, you know what I mean, some fiery purgatory with some white man in red or pink pantyhose poking you. Now, the Sadducees, the religious leaders, like the Pharisees during their time, your Christian Muslim leaders, they didn't believe it neither. Read on.
And asked him, verse 24, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die.
Alexa, stop. Go ahead, my bud.
Having no children.
Now, they said if a man died having no children, read on.
His brother shall marry his wife.
Now, they coming to Christ to try to trip him up. They saying, Master, Moses said if a man died having no children, his brother shall marry his wife. And read on.
And raise up seed unto his brother.
They're talking about the law of a brother. Meaning, if you die, right? You know what I mean? If you die and you have no children with your wife, your brother, you know what I mean? Your brother is obligated to go into, you know what I mean, that woman and marry her and bring you back and name you, you know what I mean, to keep your lineage alive, man. Read on.
Verse 25. Now there were with us 7 brethren. And the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife and his brother. Left his wife unto his brother. Verse 26.
Now, he's saying that there were 7 brethren. And the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife with his brother. Meaning the first brother that married this woman, he died. And now, you know what I mean, his second brother is about to go into her to try to bring that brother back. Read on.
Verse 26. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the 7th.
Now, likewise the second unto the third unto the 7th. Read on.
Verse 27. And last of all, the woman died also.
Now, last of all, the woman dies. Now, these 7 brothers married this woman. You know what I mean? One after another, after one would die, the other would go into her. But they ain't had no kids. No children. Read on.
Verse 28.
And now the woman died. Read on.
Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be of the 7th?
Now they saying now in the resurrection, whose wife shall she be? Because she had all of them. Go to show you that the Sadducees don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the scriptures, and Christ is getting ready to cut the hell out of them. Read what you got, Bob. Keep reading.
Oh God. For they all had her. Verse 29. Jesus answered and said unto them, Ye do err.
Christ said, ye do err. Meaning you don't know what the hell you talking about, man. He said, y'all are error. Y'all are dumb. Read on.
Not knowing the scriptures.
Not knowing the scriptures. Christ is like, y'all don't even know the scriptures. And you know what? I be wondering the same thing when I be listening to, you know what I mean, when I see you Christians talk and discuss and go and congregate and listen to the music and all the molestation and the garbage that goes on in your walls, man. Because we know about it. We know what y'all doing in y'all fake Israelite groups too. It's the thing. Christ is saying, y'all don't even know the scriptures. Read on.
Oh God. Nor the power of God.
Nor the power of God. What is the power of God, man? You don't understand the power of the Most High. Man, you don't understand how glorious and magnificent our God is, man. You claiming, who's going to be our husband in the resurrection? Now, I just broke down for you what happens when you die and when you come back. did it mention at all? You know what I mean? Remembering, oh, I was married to her, so I got to come back and marry her again and be with her. No, that's not what happens. Keep this in mind. There's no remembrance of former things. That's why we read all this first and came here. Now, read on, Bob.
Verse 30. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage.
In the resurrection, they neither marry nor given in marriage. Why don't they marry or given in marriage? Why? Why? Let's read on.
But are as the angels of God in heaven.
Now, they're like the angels of God in heaven. They're not like angels up in heaven, the celestial bodies, but they're like it. Understand this, because that's why it was so important and why I read this right earlier. When you die, you come back. You come back as a baby. You don't.
Right.
You're not coming back. You know what I mean? Oh, I was so and so. I was married to her, or sis. You're like, oh, I was married to him. No, you're like the angels in heaven, man. You come back. You ain't marrying or giving in marriage, man. You got to come up and start all over again.
Right.
That's why the Lord said there's no remembrance of former things. Read on.
Verse 31. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read?
It says, but as touching the resurrection of the dead, have you not read? Read.
Which was spoken unto you by God, saying?
Which was spoken unto you by God, saying this. God, Christ is getting ready to cut, the Sadducees. Read on.
Verse 32. I am the God of Abraham.
The God of Abraham, man. We got it's so much to touch on Abraham. That could be like a series that we can do with these classes, man. You know what I mean? I could do a whole class just on Abraham alone, man. Abraham was called a friend of the Most High, man.
Right.
Read on. The God of Abraham. Read on.
And the God of Isaac.
The God of Isaac. The God of Isaac, man. Read on. Abraham's son. Read on.
And the God of Jacob.
The God of Jacob. The God of our forefathers, man. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name later changed to Israel. Yasha, meaning our God. Read on.
God is not the God of the dead.
God is not the God of the dead. He's not the God of the dead, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. When you're dead, you're dead.
Right.
However, read on.
But of the living.
But the God of the living. What does that mean? Where he said he's not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. Want to take a stab at it, Bob?
Okay. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're back on the earth.
Absolutely. They're back on the earth. They're here. They're here. They are here, man. Abraham is back right now. Abraham is back. Jacob is back. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. God is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living, because we die and we come back. Read on. Go ahead.
Isaac is upstairs.
Absolutely. That's why I didn't say Isaac. That's why I didn't say Isaac, because Christ was Adam. Christ was Melchizedek and Isaac and Solomon. Christ is still in the fourth dimension right now with the Most High. But Abraham and Jacob, they are here right now walking amongst us. The disciples, and guess where they're at? They're here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Abraham is in the I.S.U.P.K. Jacob is in the I.S.U.P.K. Paul is in the I.S.U.P.K. Matthew, John, Peter, they're in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I pray you understand. Now, read verse 33.
Verse 33. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine.
They was astonished. They was astonished at this doctrine. They never heard that before. You know why they were astonished? Because the Sadducees and the Pharisees were the religious leaders of this time. And our people were hearing this, a lot of us, for the first time. We didn't understand it. We didn't know it.
Right.
That's why Christ came to us to teach us, man, to show us how it's done.
Right.
We sitting there like, oh, I never thought about it like that. I never understood it.
Right.
That's why for the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Let's read on.
Verse 34. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence.
Now, the Pharisees was like, the other sect was like, hold on, Christ cut the Sadducees? He put them to silence? Hold on, we got to do something about this. Hold on, read on.
They were gathered together.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 35. Then one of them, which was a lawyer.
Now, one of them, which was a lawyer, because you had studious men of the law back then, you had lawyers, you had doctors, you had those brothers back then as well. Why? Read my mind, and you have to be in the class. There's no new thing under the sun. You had politicians and lawyers back then. One of the smart Negroes thought, I'll get him. I'm a lawyer. I'll get him. You know, I got him. I'm going to trip Christ up. Read on.
Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question,
tempting him, trying to catch Christ slipping, trying to catch him off his game, which they never could. And why you can never catch the priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K. off guard. You can tempt us all you want, but we undefeated like Mayweather. Read on.
And saying, verse 36, Master, which is the great commandment in the law?
What is the great commandment of the law? They said, Master, what is the great commandment in the law? They asked in Christ, well, what's the great commandment in the law, my Lord? Read on.
Verse 37. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind.
Now, understand this. Man, this is heavy. This is so heavy, man. Because it all ties back in. He said this. He said, you should love the Most High with all thy mind, all thy heart, all thy soul. Read on.
This is the first and great commandment.
This is the first and great commandment. Christ is cutting them, saying this is the first and great commandment. To love the Most High with all thy mind and thy soul, man, and thy heart, because your heart is your mind. Read on.
Verse 39. And the second is like unto it.
And the second is like unto this. Read on.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Thou shalt love thy neighbor, meaning thou shalt love thy brother as thyself, because your neighbor is your brother. Your neighbor is not everybody. Precept is in Leviticus, the 19th chapter and the 17th verse. Your neighbor is your brother, a fellow Israelite, a fellow Jew. Read on. A fellow black, Latino, or First Nation man and woman. Read on.
Verse 40. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Listen, man, Christ broke it down, man. It said these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Meaning these two are the most important. If you can keep those two, to love the Most High with all thy mind, strength, and soul, right? And to love thy brother as thyself, you can keep all the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Read on. Okay. You wouldn't want to pick up pork and eat it, man. You wouldn't want to be a whoremonger or a whore. You wouldn't want to be a murderer. Read on.
Verse 41. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What think ye of the Christ? Whose son is he? Now,
while the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them a question. Now, Christ said, I got a question for you. Saying this, what ye think of Christ? Whose son is he? Read on.
They say unto him, the son of David.
He said unto him, the son of David. You're like, well, the son of David. Read on. Well, now, hold on. I got to address this too, Ibad. Now, they even understood this. That Christ was the son of David. How can Christ come from God, see directly, if he's the son of David? Meaning Christ had a lineage. Christ had a father.
Right.
Christ's father was Joseph. Christ is of the lineage of David. Read on.
Verse 43. He saith unto them, How then doth David in spirit call him Lord?
Why? Now Christ cut them. Why did David call him Lord? Why did David in spirit call him Lord? Read verse 44.
Verse 44. The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool.
Now the Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. Christ is quoting, you know what I mean, David. I believe it's in Psalms. Precept is in Psalms. Now understand this. Read on, Ibad.
Verse 45. If David then call him Lord, how is he his son?
If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? Christ is asking the Sadducees and Pharisees. Christ is asking them, if David call him Lord, how is he his son? Why did David call him Lord? Who did David call his Lord? David called Solomon Lord.
Right.
Why? Because David understood something. David understood something that was heavy. That was heavy, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. You know why he did that? You know why he did that? Because David knew who Solomon was.
Right.
And Christ is cutting them. Christ is quoting this because Christ was Solomon. Christ was Solomon in the regeneration, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. But does the Sadducees and Pharisees know that? No, they do not. Because like your pastor and like your imam, guess what? They're too busy with their head up the oppressor's rear end, trying to be free, white, and 21, having no idea, you know what I mean, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, how important it is to understand these things, man. To understand which is heavy. Meaning Christ is saying, listen, man, why did he call him his Lord? Because Christ was Solomon. David called Solomon Lord because David understood that Solomon was his Lord, even though that was his son. That's
Right.
why he called him Lord in spirit. Now read on.
Verse 46. And no man was able to answer him a word.
No man was able to answer him a word. Why? Why? Because they didn't know. They had no idea. They had no idea, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. They had no clue. And that's why it's important to understand this, right? And why I went into it. Why I went into this black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman for this. If I could, I buy just to get the precept. I believe it's in Psalms 110.
Okay.
So the class can see it. To show you, right, that Christ understood, man, and was studious and understood this, man. Yeah, read Psalms 110 and verse 1.
Okay. This book of Psalms, chapter 110, verse 1. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand.
The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand. This is the precept that Christ, you know what I mean, was talking about, that Christ was quoting, man. Read on.
Until I make thine enemies thy footstool.
Until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Read on.
Verse 2. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion.
The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion, man. Meaning David, man, David was a man of war, right? And David wanted to build the kingdom, man, but the Lord said, you got too much blood on your hands, man. Let your son do it. Let Solomon do it. Now the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. When Solomon became king of Israel, he ain't had much to worry about. Now read on.
Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Of God. Verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hast the dew of thy youth.
Mm-hmm. That was the dew of thy youth. Read on.
Verse 4. The Lord hath sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Thou art a what?
A priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. David understood who Solomon was. David understood that Solomon was Melchizedek, that Solomon was Isaac. He understood something that was heavy. And Christ understood this as well. That's why he cut the Sadducees and the Pharisees, man. That's why he cut them.
Right.
Let me give you another one, right? This one right here shows you, you know what I mean? The Lord said, under my Lord, David's talking to Solomon, man. And he understood, man, that who Solomon was. That Solomon was Melchizedek. That he was Isaac. That he was Solomon. Now let me get Matthew 1 and verse 1.
Okay.
Give you another one.
This book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ. Meaning the generation, the lineage of Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Read what you got.
The son of David.
The son of David. Who is the son of David? The son of David is Solomon. Christ was Solomon.
Right.
Read on.
And the son of Abraham.
And who is the son of Abraham? The son of Abraham was Isaac. And if you don't believe me, just read verse 2.
Okay. Verse 2. Abraham begat Isaac.
Abraham begat Isaac. Isaac was the son of Abraham. Christ, you know what I mean? The son of David and the son of Abraham. Meaning Christ was, you know what I mean? He was Solomon because Solomon was the son of David. Christ was Solomon. Christ was the son, you know what I mean, of Abraham, Isaac. He was also Melchizedek. Now, let me give you the last one. Christ being, you know what I mean, Adam.
Right.
You know what I want, right, Ibad?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let me get that one. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 15 and 45.
Okay.
Let me give you that one, then we can close out. 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 45.
Okay. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15.
Mm-hmm.
And verse
45.
45. So I can go into table content.
Come on, no sweat. Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 45. Now let me show you, right? Now let me tell you, right? Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman, that Christ was Adam. I showed you that Christ was Melchizedek. Showed you that Christ was Isaac and Solomon. Now let me get you the one for Adam.
This book of 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
The first Adam. Read that again.
And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
The first man, Adam, was made a living soul. Meaning Adam, right, was given the breath of life.
Right.
Meaning Adam was given life. Read on.
And the last Adam.
And the what?
The last Adam.
Who was the last Adam? The last Adam. The last Adam, read on.
Was made a quickening spirit.
The last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Meaning the last Adam was able to save lives. Meaning this. The first Adam was given life. Given the laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And now, the last Adam was made a quickening spirit, being able to save lives. Who was the last Adam? Our King, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, that the earth ignorantly knows is Jesus Christ, man. Christ was Adam, Melchizedek, Isaac, and Solomon. He's been here before. We've been here before, black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. That's why it's important to understand this, man. Because this is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. If I could, right? Go ahead, Ibad.
With a precept says 1 Corinthians 15 and 45 be Revelation 1 and 8.
Go ahead, let me read it.
There's the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 8.
That's Alpha and Omega?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. You can use that. You can read it.
I am Alpha and Omega.
I am Alpha and Omega. What does that mean when it says I am Alpha and Omega? Meaning the beginning and the end. Christ is saying that he was the beginning and he's the end. Adam was the beginning. Christ is the end. Read on.
The beginning and the end, ending.
Mm-hmm.
Saith the Lord.
Is that
Which
it?
is,
Go ahead.
and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty.
Understand this, man. Excellent precept. And I am Alpha and Omega, beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Meaning Christ was Adam, and he was Christ. Yahushua Mashiach. Understand this. And I'll give you another one. Precept for this is John 1:1. Christ was the angel that formed the earth. He was the lead angel that made all this. The Lord used to make all this. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Now, if I could, I buy it. Now we have to do the mission which our King commanded us to do. And you know what that is? Read John chapter 13 and verse 34. This is why you have to understand, man, as the priests and prophets in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, right? Why? You know what I mean? Why the Lord, you know what I mean, is only here in the I.S.U.P.K. Because we do what our God commanded us to do. We do what our King commanded us to do. Now read John chapter 13 and verse 34.
This is the book of John, chapter 13 and verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
A new commandment I give unto you.
A new commandment I give unto you. What is the new commandment that I give unto you? What is that?
That ye love one another.
That ye what?
Love one another.
That ye love one another. Meaning, Christ is being sarcastic when he says, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another. Meaning, it's time to love that Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman, man. Read on.
As I have loved you.
As I have loved you. Because our King loved us so much that he gave up his life so we can turn our lives around and keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, man, and do what our God and our King commanded us, man. Read on.
That we also love one another.
That we also love one another, meaning to love thy brother, man. Love that fellow Black man and woman. Love that fellow Latino man and woman and First Nation man and woman. Read on.
Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples.
That by this shall all men know that ye are my disciples. This is how you know that the real disciples of Christ are here in the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge, man. That's how you know that the priests and prophets under command of GEN.YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K, that we are the disciples of Christ, the priests and prophets, man. Read on.
If ye have loved one to another.
If you have loved one to another, because we love one another. We love that Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman, man. And that's why it's time for you to wake up out of sleep and come back into this body, come back into this truth. With that being said, it's the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. I'm priest and officer of 1000 Yedaya. Make sure you tune in to Black Watch every Monday night, man. Commanding GEN.YAHANNA every Monday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tune in to my, you know what I mean, the 12-year-old General Hazayan every Monday morning, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Let a Hebrew speak. And if not, 12-year-old General Hazayan, 6-year-old General Katham Gabar, man. General Katham breaking it down. If not, General Katham, my big brother, man, priest and officer of 5,000 Marah, and my other brother, man, priest and officer of 500 Ibahayah, let a Hebrew speak. Tune in to Ask Ye the Prophets. 12-year-old General Mayaka Alaka, man, every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., man. General Mayak be breaking it down so heavy, man. Join General Mayak, myself, and Officer Abahaya every Wednesday. You know what I mean? If you got a question, send it to AskYeTheProphets@gmail.com. Or you can type it in the Ask Ye the Prophets in the comment section on Facebook or YouTube, or send the question, you know what I mean, to General Mayak or myself or Ibad, man. Now, also tune in, Cross the Line Radio, Captain Tazariak, man, the Kemet Killer, the champion of the conscious community, Captain Tazariak, and our brother, man, priest and captain of 10,000, Captain Katazar, man. You know what I mean? You know, top 5 artists in Israel right now. Black man, Latino man, First Nation man and woman. Cross the Line Radio every Thursday from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. Tune into my big brother, Captain of 13,000 Gadal Hall, Captain of 10,000 Cornwall, my brother, Captain Officer of 5,000 Double Line, One West Radio man on the West Coast out of San Bernardino, California. With that being said, I'm going to pass the class off to my brother, Priest and Officer of 500, Ibad Hayat.
Priest and Officer Yedaya, strong round of applause. Teaching the proper class. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, security announcements. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of GEN.YAHANNA, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are all with for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. I.S.U.P.K means 10th and equal. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, gives to the treasury department, priest fund. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory, whatever short amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations is the Feast of First Fruits, starts after the Sabbath. Unleavened bread, sundown, Saturday, April 23rd, 2022, count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day, Sunday, June 12th, 2022. Start before sundown, found in the book of Leviticus 23, verses 10 through 22. Remind Akim and Akwaki to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, headband, and scarf with that. Amaja, which means to stand.
We can split up.
Men of Israel, the assignment to sisters need to be seated. Men of Israel will give one courteous salute. Men of Israel, Amaja, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
Guys, top, knees hands down, sorry, turn to sisters. Sisters, jump bottom, Shabbat, place your head bowed and covered, your feet connected at 45-degree angle, and your right hand claps over your left as such. And when we salute you, you salute us back. Men of Israel will give one courteous salute. Men of Israel, Shabbat. Imagine, Barak.
Yahweh Shemar Al Shem Yahshua.
When we said was, Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. At the top, hands down, bless.